This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 321 through lesson 330, each of which relates to creation as understood in the course. I'll be repeating this same introduction for each of lessons 321 through 330, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further commentary are provided in the description below. In the course, creation is not the physical world or universe. The introduction, which precedes these 10 lessons, tells us that creation is, quote, the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite, and everywhere without all limit, end quote. So creation, like the real us, is mental or spiritual. And the introduction adds that as thoughts in the mind of God, we indeed are creation. We, the sons and daughters of God, together as the one self, are creation, forever adding to love by its extension. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are only contained in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 325, November 21st. All things I think I see reflect ideas. We all have our separate thoughts, but anything thought by you alone is simply an illusion, an interpretation or construct made by you. A thought shared with one other person is also an illusion, but one with a bit more power in the world. Thoughts shared by a larger group, such as a family or neighborhood or village, have even further effects in the world, but they are still just illusions or shared constructs. Yes, they have effects in the world, but recall that the world itself is but a more widely shared illusion. You can see proof of this in how vastly different the world appears to various families, groups, and countries, and how those perceptions shift and change over time. But the thoughts you share with God, and thus, by definition, with all other selves/sons of God, are real, eternal, and unchanging. God is but love, and thinks only love. If you think only thoughts you share with God, you will see only love. See only love, and you see reality. The title of today's lesson is All Things I Think I See Reflect Ideas. This short lesson is, in my opinion, the clearest and most direct explanation of perception given in the entire course. Quoting from the lesson, quote, "What I see reflects a process in my mind, which starts with my idea of what I want. From there, the mind makes up an image of the thing the mind desires, judges valuable, and therefore seeks to find. These images are then projected outward, looked upon, esteemed as real, and guarded as one's own. End quote. In other words, if you want to see love in a situation, you will see it. And if you look for fear and hate, you will find that instead. The very first line of the lesson calls this, quotes, salvation's keynote. What does the lesson mean by this? Well, it means that this rule of thinking is our way out of the illusion. If we see what we look to see, you have the power to see only love. So you can look past the surface illusion of separation and sin. In terms of the Course, you can forgive the world. You can see with the eyes of Christ. You can see beyond the bodies to the light and love within. This is salvation's keynote. This is your road home.